Episode 3, Mr. and Mrs. Podcast, going off the cuff, about a raw, unedited.
Unprepared. It's not that it's unedited, because it's definitely getting edited, but unprepared a little bit, but also prepared. We basically asked you guys to ask us questions and give us topics on social media. So we have some of those on this list of questions that we're going to be talking about today.
Sweet.
A little life update we're going to do. And then just kind of like what we have going on and what we've been dealing with and how we've been dealing with it. Let's start with the life update. My life update is going to be that I'm 5.5 months pregnant. When people ask me, I literally don't know. I know that I'm halfway.
That's because you've just been chugging along through your pregnancy.
Yeah.
Trying to act like a hot girl out here for these streets.
What do you mean? I don't even go out. So 5 months pregnant. I know that I have 19 weeks left. So whatever that means.
That's pretty scary / exciting.
Mm-hmm. It gets scarier as we get closer, but also don't you feel like it doesn't feel real unless we're like at the doctor's and we like hear the heartbeat, see the baby. And then it's like, I don't really remember, I feel like that I'm pregnant. Even though I'm like taking my vitamins every day and stuff like that, I don't really feel pregnant besides the last like week. Cause I like felt the like flutter that they call it for the first time. Kind of now I like feel it. And I talked to the doctor about that today, where I'll like feel it when I get up. I like feel like something's there now. Other than that, for the most part leading up to this, I haven't really like felt pregnant or remembered that I'm pregnant.
I mean, you've been taking it like a soldier for sure.
Do you like forget that I'm pregnant?
I think for men, it's very different.
For sure.
Yes, it doesn't really sit in or become like a truth until you go to those appointments. You hear the heartbeat, all that good stuff. But yeah, for the most part, you hide it very well. I don't know if it's because
I'm not hiding it.
No,
Nick.
I'm saying I just don't know if you wear baggy clothes. You wear baggy clothes. You can't really see it. You're not really starting to pop.
Yeah.
So for me, like when I think about someone being pregnant or a pregnant woman, I
You
picture
think
a
of
big
like a
belly.
big belly.
Yeah, that I could rub on. And,
I'm like dreading
once
that.
she pops, then I'll believe it's, real.
Yeah, I think we've talked to like our friends who've had kids and they've said that it's becomes real for a man when the baby's like born. Because I can't
imagine.
It barely feels, it's not that it doesn't feel real. It's like the best way I can describe it is that I like forget I'm pregnant. Like even last night I was texting you, I was like, babe, I was like laying on my stomach last night on the computer and you like came and like laid on me and cuddled me. And then like after I'm like, wait, I don't think we can do that anymore. Cause like I'm pregnant. Like I asked the doctor, he said it's fine right now because, but not to do it anymore. But just cause like I don't have like a bump. So I'm not like pressing on the uterus or something. Don't quote me. I'm not a doctor, but yeah. Anyways, okay. Also, obviously, we're engaged. We sort of touched on that in the first episode, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to bring this up because I feel like and everyone that's been engaged that I've talked to says the same thing. As soon as you get engaged, people are like, so when's the wedding?
Yeah, it's definitely like
annoying.
Pressure. Well, yeah, a lot of pressure. It's like people don't even allow you to like savor the moment.
Yeah, like enjoy the engagement.
It's like the day, even when we met, I think with your family, my family, right directly after, like 30 minutes after, she's like, so when are you guys getting married? Where's the wedding? When's the wedding? Mm-hmm. People don't really even give you a chance to breathe. And I think personally that it's for people, they really just want to go party, have a good time.
Yeah, they're just excited
and celebrate.
For us.
Yeah. I don't think it's anything like
okay, you're not
malicious.
Annoying. I take it back.
I don't think it's anything malicious. I just think people, when they love you, they want to go to the wedding. They want to enjoy everything with you. So they kind of just, push things forward. That's why, like, I know people that were engaged for like 5 years, 4 years.
Yeah, that's not going to be us.
But I'm just like, I don't get that.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor, right? Conor McGregor.
He's been engaged for 5 years?
I think like 8 or something.
Oh my God. You love him. You're going to
Fun
do that
fact
to me.
of the day.
We are like talking about getting married and stuff, but we're not really in like a wedding planning.
No,
like,
we're more in like a baby
planning and like baby
trying
room.
to get, Nicole wants to enjoy her wedding. As she should. Get engaged and the baby happens during the same time. It kind of throws a wrench in the situation because it's like, all right, what do we plan for first? And obviously a life, a child is the most important thing.
I'm also not a big wedding person. Do you have any life updates? Those are like mine, ours, baby, pregnant.
No major life updates, just regular, Thanksgiving, got sick again. It never fails with the holidays. That's something that I think we should talk about. I think that COVID has like morphed into just like a common cold. Like now when you go out.
Do you think you had COVID?
No. What I'm trying to tell you is like I again, I'm sure there's COVID out there, but I think like COVID, because with sicknesses there's so many different strains. I think it's like morphed into like a common cold, and like you'll just go around people, and then in a day or two, you get a cold, sore throat.
Well, that's kind of an update. That was like our first. Well, not really. We've like gotten together with your family and stuff, and gotten together a lot with mine. But that was like our first like real holiday together, right?
Yeah.
Something that people probably struggle with is like when you get into a new relationship, it's like, okay, great. Now you're like dating someone. So you have to like not spend Thanksgiving with my family. We didn't spend Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I mean, your mom was away. People were away.
Yeah. For me, it wasn't a big deal. Even if she was here, I feel like Thanksgiving wouldn't have been a big deal for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's more obviously a sacrificial thing, but it's tough if you have two people that come from big families. Yeah. A lot of people I know, like my brother, they'll do her family and our family, like, they'll go from house to house sometimes.
For
like,
Thanksgiving?
Or maybe not Thanksgiving, Christmas.
What if they live far? We were like an hour.
More like Christmas, I guess. But they rotate. That's definitely a challenge for sure, holidays. Because then, if you don't visit one family, you start to get the gossip and the hate.
It's working out, though. And then for Christmas, like, we already have, like, a plan for that, too.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let's go back to planning for the baby and talk about the home renovations we've been doing. Because I feel like we've not, like, gotten into fights. Well, maybe. Have we gotten into, like, fights about the renos?
Yeah, definitely.
So just dealing with like home improvements as a couple.
I could say this, with a lot of, I'm at a loss for words. Dealing with contractors in general is very, very stressful. I've been dealing with contractors, in and out of my house for the past 4 years. And one thing for people just listening who own a home, like you want to try to get everything done like as soon as possible. I feel like and nothing is ever going to get done in your home the way that you picture it and the way you think that it will be.
I think the issue for me was, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, when we decided to move in together, we had to decide between either moving into, we're both homeowners, so moving into your house or my house. So we chose to move into your house. And with the renovations, I like wanted to lean on you a lot and wanted you to be very involved because it's your house.
Right. Let's talk about that.
We moved into your house, and so it's your house. Like you should be, obviously I can give my opinions. I love interior design. I love
our house. I've been telling you that since you moved in here.
I know, and I love you. You're so sweet. But at the end of the, I don't know. It's still whatever. We're like not married yet or anything. So to me, it's just like it's your house. And maybe it's because I'm like a control freak. So if we had decided to move to my house, I'd be like, hey, I'm like redoing the bathroom. I don't know. Maybe that's just, I don't know. That could be like a therapy thing where it's like I have to communicate with the partner and we make decisions together. Blah blah blah. Right? Like a partnership. I wanted you to be involved in the decision making for the stuff that we were doing because it's your house. Like obviously I would like be like, hey, this looks cuter. We live
in it together. It's our house.
Yes. Okay.
Right?
I know, babe. I know. I'm understanding that now because we already went through it, which is why we're fine talking about it now. But I'm saying in that moment, I just felt like, like it's your house. So like, hey, this tile's cute, but like you pick. Or like, hey, this is cute, but like you decide. Or like, and also you were paying for it. So I just felt like I wanted you to like have more input. Like, not because I wanted you to be more involved or like, hey, you handle this. Like, don't let me handle it. I was just more stressed because I'm like, it's your house. Like, you're paying for the renovation. Like, I don't know. I just felt bad. And I think it's also because in the past, I've never had to ask someone, like even in like a past relationship and in my house, I was also in a relationship, but it was my house and I was just like, I was paying for the renos. I was doing everything. At the end of the day, it was my house. I would never expect him to do it. I think in my mind, I just thought of it that way. So that's why I just wanted your opinions. But you were being really nice and you were just like, yeah, do whatever you want. It's your bathroom. It's your house.
Fellas, have you ever wondered what dating an independent woman was like? Here you have it.
But I'm working on it. But
Your house. It's your house. It's like your house.
But that's how I felt in the moment. I wanted you to communicate more with them because I felt bad because I'm like, oh, this is his house. Like, ask him. Like, anytime they would ask me a question, I'd be like, let me FaceTime Nick and let me ask him. But that's just how I thought of it because I'm like,
all said and done, the bathroom looks beautiful.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Let's get into, this is going to make us go on a fucking rant too. I had home improvements as a couple and then fitness and wellness as a couple. But should that be its own episode?
What do you mean fitness and wellness? Like, what do we do?
Like, no, just like working out. And I think that should be like a whole episode on its own, just like working out together, working out individually, what our routine consists of, what we like doing. And we can talk about cold plunging and all of that.
Yeah, we could do that. That's cool.
Like a different episode?
We could touch on it. I mean, we've been working out together, for the past couple weeks. It's definitely great. It strengthens the relationship. It allows you to spend quality time. It is a little annoying just because women obviously lift a little less weight than men. So you got to, go back and forth. I love the gym just by myself and just really getting it in because it's like you're alone, zone time. And I don't have to wait for anybody. And I do I do real high intensity workout. Yeah, so I think couples, the best would be like you said, like 2 days on, 3 days by yourself, but it is great. It's definitely helping our relationship. Yes. Work out with each other.
It's like, I always say it's like habit stacking because you are doing something that's good for your mental health. You're doing something that's good for your physical health and you're doing something together, spending quality time. So just by spending an hour working out together in the morning, afternoon, you're kind of just like ticking off a few things and habit stacking. Okay, moving on. What do you think is one of the most challenging aspects of living with me?
I would say personally your obsessive compulsive disorder.
I was going to say, please don't hurt my feelings, but
men can probably relate to this. Have you ever just been sitting downstairs watching TV, maybe drinking a beer, a seltzer, and then, your woman walks downstairs like, why didn't you throw the beer out? Why didn't you I live in the house, right? You know that, I think that's the most difficult is you try to stage your house as if it's on Zillow for sale. Right? Like you want your house, which is great because when you walk in and you feel a house out, you do feel the energy, the feng shui, all that. I'm with that.
Yeah, that's how my house feels all day till you get home.
Yeah, and my dad was like that too. So that's a good thing, but that's very, very difficult because even when the house is clean, if there's a fucking blanket on the couch or, Nicole, here she comes with, I can't keep this house clean, blah, blah, blah. And that just drives me a little nuts because as my mom would say, I like to make my house feel lived in, right?
That is my biggest pet peeve is when you say that I don't like my house to look lived in because our house looks lived in. We have 3 fucking dogs and you. It looks lived in. Well,
we got 3 dogs that really could give a fuck less about us, okay? Let's just say that.
I think you're messier than them. If we close the bathroom door, Gemma can't really make a mess because she can't rip the toilet paper up. Okay, that's fair. That's fine. And I don't have OCD. If you literally lived with my mom or lived with Paola, you would think I'm the messiest person to ever have walked.
Yeah, no, I understand. There's levels to this cleanliness shit. We understand.
Yeah,
that.
I just think you're at a 0 and I'm at a 5 and it's a lot.
More at 10%.
Okay.
So also, your mood swings probably is a little,
Remember that the other day you said, yeah, we should talk about hormones and pregnancy, and how the man's life's gonna be miserable. Yeah, too soon. This is the second time you're bringing up hormones, and we're not going there because you were messy before I got pregnant, and I hated it before I got pregnant. Someone asked, have you drank alcohol while you're pregnant?
Like sips of wine just to taste it, because wine.
Yeah, but like
wine's
barely.
good for the heart. Everybody knows that.
No, okay, no. So
Our baby's gonna come out the womb like, ¿Dónde está el vino?
yeah, from you. No, I have not drank alcohol since I've gotten pregnant. Well, besides like the first week where I didn't know I was pregnant in California. Since then, I haven't drank alcohol. I've sipped like your wine maybe like 3 times, but for the most part, I'll just like smell it.
It's funny you said that. I know it's got to be a little difficult for you too. Like, I know like Thanksgiving, everybody hanging out, having fun. And like, you know, you're like a social drinker. So I know it's got to be like, damn, like, you know, boring. Because I know hanging, like, I hung around drunk people when I wasn't drinking. And I'm just like, okay, I want to go home.
No, so I was actually telling my sister this, and I think I texted you about this too. Number one, I have not missed alcohol since I got pregnant. And I think it's because I didn't drink that often when, like, you know, when I drink, I like to drink. Like, I'll have a few
blackout.
drinks. Stop. I don't black out. I just like to have a few drinks. Like, if I'm going to have one wine, like, I just won't have it because what's the point? I'm just like, whatever.
See that girl? We should do the remix of that. Oh, the blackout queen.
No, you're
17.
You literally want people to think we're these like partiers on this podcast. But anywho, that's fine. I had such a good time with your family and your uncle. And, you know, my issue is I get tired. So if I want to go home, I'm just tired. Like, I'm just pregnant and like I get so tired. But
for sure.
I
Because
felt
drunk people
great.
like party and what, and they want to say, and you're like, okay, let's go home.
But even when I was like, hey, like I'm getting tired, and we had like an hour and a half drive back, I was like, I ended up staying like another hour and a half or 2 after I said that because I genuinely was having a good time and like enjoying my conversation with your family and like your cousins and uncle. And yeah, I didn't need to have drinks. Like, you guys were drinking, but they were like so fun and funny that I like I didn't even feel like I was the sober one. Like, I was having such a good time.
Yeah, you don't need alcohol to have fun.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Disclaimer.
I didn't say my most challenging aspect of living with you.
Get out your notebooks.
What do you think it is?
Probably the cleanliness.
Okay. So it's the same thing for both of us, I guess.
Yeah, probably the cleanliness.
I could deal with it. I think just we're navigating our schedules and just like we both work full time. So obviously, like, I want to cook and clean and do all these things. What?
No, the cooking part.
Oh, that's on here. Don't worry. Cooking for Nick Cap is literally a bullet point.
If you have a good man and he is not clean, clean up after. Problem solved.
Who does your laundry? Who does clean every single day? Who takes sweaters?
Too soon.
Who takes your clothes off the couch every single day? Who puts the blankets back in the bucket? Who throws out your seltzers and your spit cups out? Do you want me to keep going?
No, it's fine. You're going down a rabbit hole.
Okay. So anyways, yeah. So I guess that's the hardest part for both of us is I'm cleaner and you're a little bit messier. What's a pet peeve?
Pet peeve that you do that I have?
Something I do that's your pet peeve. Is that how you word it?
When you say KK bye, that I just like it makes me want to jump out the window.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Wait, you've never told me that though.
Yeah, but it's
when
your
I
thing.
say KK
it's
bye.
Like if I have a slang that I keep saying.
I said that at the end of our last episode. I said KK bye. Wait, why? Tell me.
No, I don't know if that's a pet peeve.
But
probably your hair is everywhere. No, but that's not a pet peeve. Yeah, it just bothers me when it gets clogged in the drain and you can't take a shower and you gotta pull it out because you're not gonna do that, right?
Yeah, you.
Men don't get enough credit for pulling nasty, filthy hair from the drain so they could take a shower. I want to see one of you women do that.
So gross. Thank you. I really appreciate you for doing that because it is gross even though it's my own hair.
Well, thank you, Nicole.
And I will run the robo vacuum a little bit more often because my hair really is everywhere. Okay. But the KK bye, can we go back to that? What about that bothers you?
Well, it's a lot of your sayings like hate, cancel, delete. You know, you say a lot of harsh words, you know, but you use them, again, it goes back to the millennial AI. You use them as if they're just like, my dad back in the day, I used to be like, I hate that kid. And he'd be like, he would look at me crazy and just be like, hate is a very strong word. We don't say that in this house unless you mean it, and you better mean it. You guys just hate, cancel, delete. Like it's just very those words.
Like I say, okay, hate you, bye.
Yeah, I don't get down like that. I don't like that. That's probably a pet peeve of mine. But for you, right? The millennial AIs is just slang. It's just like, hey, bye, I hate you. You know, that's like your way of communicating. For us, it's like, is this the enemy or?
Yeah, no, makes sense.
That's a pet peeve for sure. But again, that's where the age gap thing comes in, right? Because that's kind of, that's how.
Yeah, because like KK bye, that's literally how I ended our last.
That's how the
episode.
Millennials talk. I hear them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hate, cancel, delete, cancel culture.
No, it's not cancel culture.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying if I say something, I'll be like, oh my God, delete, delete, delete. If I just say something I didn't mean, not say something I didn't mean, but if I say something, I'm like, wait, no, like retract. I'm not saying retract. I'm like delete, delete, and then I'll,
Just the harsh words that you try to spin as like, regular everyday words. Pet peeve. All right, what's your pet peeve of mine? Nothing, because I'm perfect. You know what I'm saying?
That's probably my biggest pet peeve is that you think you're fucking perfect.
I don't. Very flawed man.
I don't know. I think if I had to be very specific, like you were, like KK bye or my hair everywhere, you gave 2. Rude. So I think it would probably be your spit cups everywhere. I hate that.
Damn, I can't do the zins no more.
What?
Imagine if it was like chewing tobacco, then you'd probably leave me. My uncle, did you see him dipping? He dips like real tobacco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell them what I'm talking about, because no one's going to know what I'm talking about.
So there's like their nicotine pouches.
Do you have it with you?
Yeah, I used to be on. They should sponsor me. I spend enough money on these things.
Are you gonna quit? Is the real question. Or you don't lie to me.
Yeah,
on
I want to
camera.
quit.
No, do you have any intention on quitting?
The reason I started doing these was Affinito, actually. Not to throw you out there.
Don't blame
but
anyone else but yourself.
I was on the vape heavy, and I was dying. I think the vape kills people. I think for real. And that just helped me kick it, and then I just haven't quit it. And it's like a nervous thing. You just pop it in, and and it's tobacco-less. It's a little nicotine fix.
So my pet peeve is Nicholas will take like my used water bottles from the garbage, and then if there's no fucking used water bottles, because I use this. Simple Modern sponsor me. He'll take like our regular cups and he'll spit, because you spit when you put those in your mouth, then you like spit into a cup, right?
Because why do you have to be so graphic? Yes, I spit into a cup.
Mm-hmm. And then he'll like leave the cup there overnight, and so in the morning I'm just like collecting all these water bottles with spit in it, and then the little nicotine pouches. Like I went to Starbucks Red Cup Day where they gave me a free red cup, and the other day I was like, oh cute, I'm gonna like use this cup to bring my coffee in the fucking car, and then I opened it, and guess what was in it? Your spit with your fucking nicotine pouches in it, dried up, crusty in there, and I had to like pick them off. It was so fucking gross. Definitely my pet peeve. But
all right, I'll try to quit for sure.
No, but do you actually think you want to quit? Like, I don't care. It doesn't bother
eventually
me.
I'm gonna quit. Eventually, yes. I'll be more mindful of the spit cups for sure. I already am.
Okay, that's my pet peeve.
What's next?
I obviously work in social media, and I post a lot of content. Before we started dating, I'm sure when you started following me, you saw that I posted a lot of content, very active on stories. When we started dating, I don't really remember how we navigated social media. Did you ever think to yourself like, oh, I don't want to be on social media, or I don't want her to post me, or I don't want her to post our relationship? Or were you just like okay with it? Or did you know that was kind of just like part of the
I think that, that's your whole thing is social media. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a package, I guess.
What would be a relationship deal breaker for you? When we first started dating, like what would have been a deal breaker for you?
I don't like when girls post like the thirst traps. That's a deal breaker. As weird as it is, would be a messy woman, like a messy chick. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't have two messy people. You'd be living in a shithole.
Yeah, there you go. Hit the nail on the head.
That's a deal breaker for sure.
What's a deal breaker for you?
I think I don't know. I think a deal breaker for me would be basic shit. Like, you need to have like a job. If you don't have like a job, like, goodbye. That's important to me. Like, you need to have like a career of some sort.
I mean, that's a deal breaker. Some girls date bums and guys that, mooch off them and live off them. So, okay, that's a good deal breaker.
Yeah.
For you.
Deal breaker is someone who does drugs.
That's a deal breaker for like most people probably who don't do drugs, I'd imagine.
Yeah, you can't do drugs. That's a huge deal breaker for me. Also, and I feel like such a hypocrite because I've smoked cigarettes before. But again, it's like there's a time and place for everything for me. Like that was like college, like whatever. I could not date someone who smokes cigarettes. For some reason, the smell and stuff just gives me the absolute ick that when I smell it, I always say it to you. I'm like, babe, I do not know how I used to smoke cigarettes. I never was like consistently smoking them. I would go through like phases in college, whatever, but I could never date someone who smokes cigarettes. I can never date someone who does drugs. Yeah.
It's funny and also interesting how like when you're young, you try to like, or people smoke cigarettes, to follow people and look cool. And then when you get older, it doesn't look cool anymore.
Yeah, it just looks
It
gross.
just looks like an expensive habit. It's hilarious.
I literally am like, like that's a nasty habit to have, but I'm like, hello, Nicole.
Because kids
used to do
battle
that.
Yeah, kids now it's vaping, but which is even worse.
If we could switch roles for a day, what aspects of each other's lives would you want to explore?
Your brain.
To understand why I'm so crazy?
Yeah, how your brain works.
What don't you understand? Maybe I can
Just
address it right now on camera.
Maybe the way that your brain works, like
about what?
Just like how, but I do it too. How far ahead you think in the future, and how stressed you become of things you have no control over. But I have that.
I think that's just anxiety, sweetheart.
So then, I don't know. I mean, that's probably not a great. What would you want to explore about mine? Okay,
so if we could switch places for a day, I think I would want to explore your career because
you do not.
No, I don't. Well, for a day, because I think it's just interesting, like how many people you have to talk to. Like, I think I would be, and I would do it for you. I would be a little bit more understanding. I think of like just your job, your career, what you do, how much work goes into what you do. I think that'd be important. I feel like we are in two different industries, so we don't really know what our day-to-day looks like. So if we could switch roles for a day, I would want to see what it's like to
picture my career like 3 bedrooms, right? And all 3 of them are on fire, and you put one out and then run to the other to put the other out. And then right when you put the other out, you look back and then the fire's on in the room again. That's kind of like what it's like a little bit. So these are the questions that people asked us on social media. Okay, so someone said, okay, can we preface this though with the fact that you and I had a conversation before doing this podcast that we want to be very open and vulnerable and like talk about all these topics. But we did set a boundary and say that there are certain topics that we're going to put like a timeline on. Like we are definitely going to talk about them, but we're not going to talk about them like while we're going through them or just if it's too soon. Like it's like, yeah, we've listed a bunch of things where we're like, yeah, let's talk about this and this. But in a month or two when it's not so like fresh. We're comfortable in our own skin. When we're comfortable talking about it. With that being said, the first question is, was the engagement a surprise, and how was it blending both families? The engagement was going to be a surprise. Originally, I called my aunt, and I was like, I want to marry her. I'm tired of calling her my girlfriend. And she's like, you should just do it in Nantucket, get it out the way. So, but I was like, oh, it's too soon because I didn't have time to plan. It was a surprise, though-ish. Like, the day it... Yeah, we finessed it, you know. I knew it was coming, obviously, because when we were in California before Nantucket, you had like said something first. And I remember I would send Sam like pictures of rings and be like, for when he's ready, ha ha ha. And then in California, you like said something. It might have been like, I don't want to call you. You might have said that. I think you said like, I don't want to call you my girlfriend anymore or something like that. Probably, yeah. And you would send me rings every day on Instagram. And then that's when I immediately was like, okay, Sam, never mind. I'm just going to send them to him because he like said something to me. I didn't want to send it before. Because you want to get married? What? Because you want to marry me. Well, I was sending you rings.
And I was like, yay, he brought it up. So then I was like, okay, I'm just going to start sending them to you. So then I just started sending you rings, not knowing I was going to get pregnant, not knowing anything. Right. The actual engagement was a surprise, though. I didn't know I was getting engaged that day. Yeah.
I did it on my father's birthday. He got married on my birthday. So I figured it was like, equal now.
You surprised me at the beach. You said we were going to go
at Saskell Hill Beach, which is one of my favorite beaches around.
You said we were going to light a lantern or something for your dad.
Yeah,
because your dad's birthday, and his dad recently passed away
in January. And yeah, I said, we're going to light this off for my dad in his memory. And I had the support of your sister, Alex, and Sam, who. Thank you. Shout out to them. And then, and I didn't know, though, because I was like rushing you. So quick story. Basically, I was like rushing her to get there for when was it sunset? Sunset, right? Before the sunset. It was like literally going to get dark in like a half hour. And then she wants to, dress up like Madonna.
I'm like literally washing and drying my jacket.
I didn't want to rush her because it seems obvious. But then I did kind of rush her. And I'm like, damn, is she going to know? Is she not going to know? But it went really good. And I just grabbed something. I was like, yeah, we're going to light this on fire. And she was just like, oh, okay. And yeah.
And then we went to dinner with my family, your family. And then how was it blending both families? That was not a big deal for us, right? Our parents have all met. But you've met my siblings. And then you've met a lot of my cousins.
Yeah, it's actually been fun to be honest.
And I met your cousins too.
Yeah. It's actually been fun blending families. I think that everybody's very funny. I for the most part,
you have a big Italian family. I have a big Spanish family, so it's very similar. I don't think we've merged really the two. But
no.
We've spent time with your family, and then we've spent time with my family, and it's been fine.
Yeah.
I like your family a lot. Okay, someone asked, who is sensitive and how does the opposite handle their sensitivity? I'm going to go ahead and say you're fucking sensitive because you don't like when I say Kiki bye or oh my god, delete. Or hate you, gotta go bye.
Yeah, I'm sensitive for sure. I think that you just pick and choose when you want to be sensitive.
Yeah.
And then you can't get past it. I'm sensitive to a fault. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm sensitive enough that it could make me insecure and then whatever. I'm soft about it. And I get over it, right? You're sensitive to the point that you're mute, blank, and then that's it. You don't talk. You're just so pissed that you can't.
But that's not being sensitive. I think that's just being stubborn or
emotional.
A brat.
Yeah. Sensitive. Brats are usually sensitive.
Really?
Yeah. And how do you deal with it, they said?
Yeah, how does the opposite handle their sensitivity?
She doesn't.
How
do I handle her sensitivity? I would say prayer and therapy.
Stop. You don't even go to therapy anymore. Okay, no. When am I sensitive though? Maybe.
Upstairs when I was trying to watch that movie, right, before we were doing the podcast, and I was like, I don't know, just take it. And you're like, I'm not going to do this if you're going to have an attitude. That's sensitive. It's here, take it.
I would say I'm the more sensitive one.
And I'm the gangster.
Nick's the gangster. You do a very good job at handling my sensitivity and me being
Nicole.
Emotional.
Thank you.
Oh, nice. Someone said bring Mona on. For those that don't know, Mona is your mom.
Mona is my very highlighted mom. She will be on here.
She will be on here. We need to get more mics.
Yeah, because she'll come down here and be like, what do you got down here? What is this all over the place here? So yeah, she will go viral.
She will literally probably be one of our top guests ever. She's gonna be great.
I'm not speaking into that microphone. What are you doing down here with this? You put me on the TV or what?
Oh my God, I can't wait. Someone said, what do you think your parenting styles and expectations will be since she's pregnant?
I think we both share the same expectations as to not raise a brat, a kid who's spoiled.
For this, I want to just say we have been told by many people to go to therapy before having a baby to discuss things like parenting styles, religious upbringing, what's the word? Just how, those expectations.
For boys, I believe in a swift pop on the ass. You know, I got it. Look at me. I turned out perfect.
Oh my God. But yeah, so that's something that we can talk more about once we get more clarity on that, because that's something that we're literally going to therapy for, to make sure that we're on the same page. Like when the baby comes, we're not like trying to parent in different ways or have different parenting styles and then clash once he's already here. Like we want to make sure we're on the same page once he's here. And like,
I think as a parent, you also develop your style as the kid grows.
Yeah.
I don't think, yeah.
But expectations, that's something that a lot of people have also said is really important for us to communicate about. Just like what your role is going to be, what my role is going to be, just so we're not shocked once the baby gets here and we're getting hit with like all this like new stuff, adjustments, and trying to deal with it like all at once. That's the advice that we can kind of give on that. And that's how we're approaching that, is by going to therapy so we can talk about those things, because we really haven't discussed in detail like what my expectations are of you as like the father, and like how much I'm like, because I don't even know. This is my first baby. Like I don't even know what that means. Like expectations in what way? Like you taking the night shift and like me doing the day, or like we haven't really even talked about, okay, like
schedules,
work, and just like how we're going to navigate that when I need to see clients, like, which I know we're going to be a team and figure that all out. But I think it's all stuff you need to have conversations about. A lot of the posts that even I've seen on like the mom pages that I'm following on Instagram that I've sent to you, it's like what we talked about before the baby came, what's going in our diaper bag, what's like, what do we need to bring to the hospital? And then it's like what we wish we talked about. So that's kind of like what we're going to therapy to figure out. Someone said, did you plan your pregnancy? Is that a too soon one, or?
Well, I wanted to have a baby with Nicole. If that answers the question. I want to have a baby with you, and I am. So look, dreams do come true.
I think we'll do an episode on that, because we said we wanted to do an episode on that. The last thing I just wrote is cooking for Nick Cap.
Cooking for me?
Yes.
You don't.
Why? Okay. Too soon.
Okay, so
no.
Nicole
Too
doesn't.
soon.
This isn't too soon, because I cook. I enjoy cooking. I cooked a crazy meal when I got home, like out of thin air. You know why? Because I cook with love.
Guys, can I tell you what his
care.
crazy meal was? Let me just. Okay, his crazy meal was ground beef. So you just
seasoned ground beef.
Okay, crazy.
Garlic string beans, right? And
crazy.
I mean, that was
and gnocchi that literally already came prepared from Trader Joe's.
I mean, but that
wild chef. Delicious.
I looked in the fridge and made something. When's the last time you did that?
Yesterday.
And guess what? I don't care. I don't care who critiques my food, because I cook with love.
No, because
right?
you cooked
so
from Trader Joe's
pre-made
gnocchi, and so it was bomb.
All right.
Okay, take it back. Who cooked dinner last night? And I actually cooked from the heart, and you're like judging me. You're like, what are you seasoning? And I'm like,
but who
cutting
cares?
Chicken, putting
if
it in
I
a bag,
judge the food,
like seasoning it, homemade.
If I critique
couscous
the food,
and
that's
veggies.
Because I'm trying to make you better, right? As if I cook food and it's shit, I want you to be like, oh, it's too much salt. It's about getting better. I'm going to eat the food. I could see if I was like, I'm not eating this shit. It's disgusting.
But can we just go back to when you said, when was the last time you did that? I literally cooked us a meal yesterday.
Yeah.
And I used to cook you breakfast, lunch, and dinner when I first moved in. And then he would just be like scraping all his eggs to the dog. Nick is like, I don't want to eat breakfast today. Blah, blah, blah. I'm weird. Too soon. I said
I don't need someone to cook breakfast for me. I do that on my own.
Okay. And then he goes out to lunch.
And
then dinner. He's also very picky. So goes out to dinner most nights.
All right, Nicole, take us out.
You take us out, babe.
All right, this episode was pretty much off the cuff. It was raw. We're probably going to cut out most of it, I'd say, so I don't get canceled and I could appear in front of you again. Yeah, Nicole's too sensitive. She's soft.
This week you called curtains blankets. We're
and I haven't even been smoking either.
We literally are like planning the baby room, and we're trying to figure out like what type of like shades and curtains. And then Nick's like being bougie as fuck, of course, and wants the most expensive things. So he wants those like custom wooden, like whatever. And I was like, no, like let's do these just like curtains.
And I said, are those the blanket looking curtains?
No, you're
because
like...
there's those long curtains look like blankets.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Oh, love you so much.
Okay, love you too.
Okay, bye.